Yo, Al, you can't answer the phone either. Once you answer the
Yo,
phone, it's gonna knock you off.
Oh yeah,
what,
exactly.
what up? What's good? What's good? This your boy Tiz the Gator, you know what I'm saying? With my nigga Stone Diggy on True Spill TV, man. Know what I mean? We got the legendary hip hop barber, Lamar Garcia, man. What's up, my boy? What's going on, man?
Yo, what up? What up? What up? What up? Thanks for having me on, yo. Thank you, man.
Facts. What's
Facts, man.
good? Stone Digger in the building. You already know, man. True Spill TV, Tiz the Gator. With my man Lamar Garcia. You already know. Give it your pie trying. We in the building. And we about to hear some shit we ain't never heard before. You already know.
Man,
That's the way.
you got stories for days, man. So what we gonna do, we gonna start off, know what I'm saying? Let the viewers know, let the audience know what I'm saying, where you from, born and raised or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt. I was born in Brooklyn, Fort Greene area. Now
Okay.
I say Fort Greene area because look, much love to everybody, from the fort. You know what I'm saying? I just didn't live in the projects. I lived up the block from the projects, which was Albee Square, which was right across the street from where the Albee Square Mall is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
So it's important that I say that because I wasn't from Fort Greene. I didn't live in Fort Greene, but I was from that area. And I had to walk through the projects to go to school. So that was kind of
Oh,
fucking conundrum when I was coming up. You know what I mean?
definitely.
That was, that's what made it ill and it kind of built me into who I am today. You know what I'm saying? You know, them dudes in the fort, it was real back then. You know what I'm saying? It was real. You're talking about the days of like the real 50 Cent. You
Right.
Facts.
know what I'm saying? And cats like Killer Ben, just to name a couple of cats, it was a different temperature that time. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to
Right.
set the whole kind of like mode up, early 80s. I'm talking about 83, 85, 86. Brooklyn
Facts.
was real back then. You know what I'm saying? It ain't the puffy Brooklyn that they see right now that I don't even like going to.
Right.
You know.
Right.
So I brought that up to say, Kane is my cousin. And when he put out his first album, you know, that changed everything. It went from me just being like a regular dude just walking through to a dude that they had to kind of prove something with. And you
Okay.
kind of had to prove yourself, like, yo, you know what I'm saying? I ain't soft. You know what I mean?
Right.
Um, so it kind of built me into who I am, you know what I mean? And it really made me into this person that wasn't scared to take no chances, and that's what led to, a lot of things that I did in life. I just wasn't scared. So if an opportunity presented itself, I just took it.
Right.
Yo,
So
that.
so as
Yeah.
far as
Hold on, real quick. Yo, you know what? I didn't even think about that. Like when he got on, how did that change your life? You know what I mean? Because me, I'm just a kid. You know what I'm saying? We coming up together.
Right.
Really like public school is like kind of towards the end of public schools when K's start popping. For me, I
Right.
think. You know what I'm saying? So I never even thought about how your life changed. You're not
Change.
really from the hood, but you are from the hood. You know what I'm saying? So
Exactly. So you
niggas
get
know
it.
who
You
you
know what
are.
I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So cats knew me, but I wasn't from the projects. I wasn't really from the fort. You know what I mean? But
right.
I
Right.
get mad love from people in the fort. Like my man F Sharp. Shout out to my man F Sharp. You know what I'm
Flames, you
saying?
already know.
Um, man, you know what I'm saying? I had my peoples, in the Brooklyn Assault team that used to look out for me. They were some older cats. You know what I'm
Yeah, Ike
saying?
Capone. Yep.
Ike Capone, you know what I'm saying? Much love to Ike Capone. You know what I'm saying? My man
Right.
D Rock. So these is older cats that, that used to look out for me and be like, all right, if something gonna happen, y'all gonna give them a fair one, but ain't nobody gonna jump them. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
Facts.
And after a while, niggas just get tired of, niggas just get tired of trying to bully you because they know it's gonna be a long motherfucking day. You know what I mean? It's
Right.
gonna be a long
Right.
motherfucking day. You know what
Right.
I mean?
Right.
And
Right.
look, I wasn't no, I ain't one of these. I'm 50, man. I ain't one of these dudes that's gonna get on the internet and be like, oh, back then I used to knock niggas out. Nah, man, I wasn't. Nah, that
Right.
wasn't what it was about. It was about standing up for yourself, and that really builds character later on in life. Because when I came out, when I started doing movies and television, and I moved out to LA, I was out there by myself at 19.
Right.
Oh
You know what
damn.
I'm saying? And it was a surprise that I went out there and, just got that opportunity. But we'll get to that. I don't want to skip too much through the story.
Nah,
I know
you
we're
good.
trying to keep track. I know we're trying to keep track. But to make a long story short, just from being Kane's cousin, I got to see a lot of shows, Juice Crew All Stars at the Apollo. Like I'm, 14, 15, you know what I'm saying? I'm
Right.
backstage at the Apollo. You know what I'm saying? So I'm
Right.
seeing things differently, When Kane used to be getting dressed and getting ready for a show, he would be down at his aunt crib, which is on Albee Square, which is where my
Right.
grandmother lived. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So I'm running to the store for like Slick Rick, Nice and Smooth. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like
Right.
all of these people, I'm around these dudes, and that was really my first job. I was a runner to go to the store. And in fact, big shout out to my man Greg Nice. Greg Nice gave me my first tip that was a $50 bill. Like I never had a $50 bill in my life. Greg
Right.
Nice gave me my first. So I just want to give a shout out to Greg Nice. Greg Nice gave me my first real
Greg
$50 bill.
NICE.
I was about to say the same shit. You already know.
Word. Yo.
Domino peso.
So Greg NICE. Yo. So for the viewers and the fans that don't understand who you're talking about, right? When you say Kane, you talking about the legendary old school leader, man.
The first king of New
You talk
York,
about Big
the
Daddy
first
Kane.
nigga to set Brooklyn on fire.
Big
Yeah.
Daddy Kane.
Yeah, yes.
Okay. That's for the people that don't know. Like the old school heads like us, we know exactly who you're talking about. So yeah, Big Daddy Kane. So that's your blood cousin. Big Daddy, is he from Brooklyn too?
Yeah, yeah. He
I
from
never
Lewis
knew
Avenue.
that.
Yeah, see, Kane, mother and father lived on Lewis Avenue in Bed-Stuy.
Right.
Oh, okay.
His his grandmother lived on Albee Square. His grandmother and my great grandmother were sisters. They came up from South Carolina together.
Mm.
Right.
They lived on Albee Square. So me and Shane, because his mother and father had to work, so Shane would be at his grandmother's house, Monday through Friday. We went to the same school. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Kane used to like getting, leaving for his shows because it was right downtown Brooklyn. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? It wasn't in that style. You could hop right on the Brooklyn Bridge because everything in Manhattan was in Manhattan back then. You know what I'm saying? But yo, I'm gonna tell you some ill shit. So this shit was crazy. It was the summer of 1988. I was
Mhm.
on I was on my way to be a sophomore in high school. I went to fashion industries. Kane did Ain't No Half Stepping video. And I got to be in that video.
Oh, word,
And let me
word.
tell you something. When I went back to school for my sophomore year in fashion industries, now for those people that don't know, fashion industry is like one of the biggest high schools in New York. You know what I'm saying? It's like art and design and kind of like that fame school, you know what I'm saying? You
Right.
know,
Yes.
Juilliard and whatnot, like where people go there to be artists. So people went to fashion to sew. Yo, look, man, I ain't know how to fucking sew. I went there because it was 10 floor full of bras. You know what I'm saying? You can't strike out with 10 floor full of bras. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Right. Right.
When I was in that video, when I was in the Ain't No Half Stepping video, that right there changed my life right there. That was it.
I can
That
imagine.
was it.
Word.
That was it, yo. That got me props unlimited. That
I was
got me
super
props.
proud of you.
So
I ain't
what?
gonna front,
So
nigga.
what were you doing in the video?
So,
when
hold on.
when
Let me jump
Kane
in real quick.
oh yeah, go
Real
ahead.
quick before you answer that. So me as a younger nigga, I'm about what, 2 grades behind you, a grade behind you.
One grade. Come on, son.
One,
Stop making me that old. You 1 grade behind me. Don't play me.
1 grade, right? So
Yeah.
imagine me, my man. I used to speak to every day. I used to speak to Shane, Little Daddy Shane, my nigga, piece of that nigga. You know what I mean? Every day. You know what I'm saying? I used to speak to these niggas every day. They're older than me, but I used to always fuck with older niggas when I was little. So me sitting home with Core and them niggas, chilling, watching videos, video music boxes, shit like that, and seeing my son in a video like this, chilling outside the ring and shit like that. Because if you remember, Ain't No Half Stepping, it was basically a boxing match. You know what I mean? Kane was killing them with the lyrics. And
Right.
To see that though, and to see your man back then, that was like, that's like now seeing a nigga on YouTube. You know how niggas is viral, but instead of niggas,
Right.
everybody can see it at one time. We all see it at different times, and then you see each other in the street, and it's like, yo, you see L in the Big Daddy Kane video, nigga?
Right,
Exactly.
right, right,
So
right,
go
Exactly.
ahead, son.
So that right there was an important time because now I had to figure something out. And what I mean by that is I was never, and don't take this wrong, but I was never cool with just being Kane cousin. Like I love my cousin, but that's not what
Right,
I want to be known for. That ain't what I want to be known for. You know what I'm saying?
right,
So I had to carve my own life. Like I never wanted to live off everything my cousin, my cousin, my cousin, because I always thought that was corny. And if you really thought, and if you think back, son, I never really used to flash that. Like people used to be bashing Kane all day, and I just be sitting there not saying nothing. Somebody be like, yo, that's his cousin. Oh, yo, you know what I'm saying?
right,
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 Or like somebody's talking real good about Kane, and I'll just be like not saying nothing. You know what I mean? Because I just always thought that was corny.
right,
I
right.
always
Now
thought
you
that
never
was corny.
flaunted it, nigga, and you still came through the hood. I remember you used to fuck with a joint up in my building, and that's how I used to see you later on in life after you on public school. You know what I mean?
Exactly, exactly,
Right.
exactly. So, you know, so I had to figure something out for myself, and I started cutting hair. You know what I'm saying? Rest
right.
in peace to my man, Criminal Mike. He had a barber shop on the Lower East Side of Manhattan, and
Mm.
that's where I sharpened my skills and got good at cutting hair. Because I had a shop, I could stay in there all day. You know, and this is one thing I always want to tell the young dudes, man. If it's something that you enjoy doing, find a way to put in 100 hours of practice a month into what
Mm.
you do.
Right,
Once you put in 100 hours, you mastered it.
right,
And after you do 100 hours, go do another 100 hours.
right. That's
You get
crazy,
to
man.
the point where you master your skill after 100 hours. It's just a fact. If you do something
Mm.
repetitiously enough for 100 hours, you've mastered it.
Yeah,
You know,
No, that's deep.
and it's important that you do that because that's step one to the next thing that I learned in life. And this is shit that I learned later on in life. You know, it's called the 6 P's. Proper preparation prevents a piss poor performance. You know what I'm saying?
mm,
So if you
mm,
keep working on everything that you need to work on your skill and put in your 100 hours, when you get that opportunity that's right there, you already naturally prepared to perform.
right,
And it's not going to be piss poor because it's already in your mental. You already know what you're doing. You prepared for this time, you know. So I say that is, I tell people put in your 100 hours and then put in 100 more. So when that opportunity comes, you prepared to perform. And it's and that's all you got to do is just shine. You know what I mean? And that's
Facts.
what happened. That's what happened. Like Omar Epps used to hang out when he did Juice. He started hanging out at Kane crib because he used to
Mm.
hang out with Stretch. You know what I'm saying?
oh, okay.
But Kane
Yeah,
was like, you know, you more my brother and my cousin age. Like hang out with them. You know what I'm saying?
right, right,
Facts.
And I started cutting Omar hair, and me and him got mad tight. You know what I'm saying? So the first movie I ever cut on was Major League Two when
Oh,
Omar Epps, yeah, when Omar Epps took over for Wesley Snipes.
facts. I
So
remember.
yeah, so now if you watch that movie, my continuity was off. I didn't really know what I was doing. It was, but I was mind you, I was just taking the train down there on the weekends, giving him a haircut, having hella fun with my man. You know what I'm saying?
right,
Facts.
But I learned in those 2 days that I would stay down there, I would just absorb everything. You know what I'm saying? I watched the real hairstylists do what they do.
Right.
I watched how they just stay on the artist. I watch, the reason why they did. I watch when they came in. I watch how they operate. You know what I'm saying?
right,
Right. Right.
Um, And Omar liked my work, and then he took me. He's like, "Look, man, let's go. Come with me to LA. We're gonna shoot Higher Learning." That was when he did Higher Learning, with Lawrence Fishburne. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was Lawrence Fishburne's hairstylist that I watched every day on that movie, and I
Mm,
watched what, because it had to be, continuity is a thing that's important, right? And here's
right.
what I mean. You ever be watching a movie, and in one scene the nigga will have a fresh cut, and the next scene the nigga will have an afro, and
Yeah.
they'll cut,
Yeah.
but it's
Hell
all in
yeah.
the same moment. You know what I'm saying? It's all in the
Yeah.
same moment. That's
Right.
important. They don't shoot scenes in order, but you have to be able to work back and forth around that shit. You know what I'm
right.
saying?
Right.
Right.
Um, that's why it's called movie magic. So it's a lot you got to learn. It's not just about going in there and cutting hair. You know what I'm saying? It's about the continuity of it. You can't say, during half the movie, you know what, I don't want this partner nigga here. No. Nah,
Right.
it has to be the same way. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then you start reading the script, right? You start reading the script, being that I'm cutting, which is usually the start of the movie. This is something that I hate, and this is something that bothers me. They'll have a movie where the star will be, it'll be going on over a week's time. Let's say the movie was over a week or 2 weeks,
Mhm.
right? Yeah, it'd be 2 weeks, right? Two
Right.
weeks time. They'll be doing all of this crazy shit, running from the police and hiding and ducking and running from Martians. When that nigga had time to get a fresh haircut?
Right. Right. Right.
When did
Right.
this nigga get time to keep
Mhm.
his shit so fresh, running from the
Mhm.
monsters, man?
Right. Right. Right.
Nigga, that's that what they say when you don't see it behind camera shit, off camera. Nigga gonna get me, y'all gotta get a fade first.
Now,
Right. Right.
when
For
you do
real.
stuff like that and you start learning and you start seeing the importance of doing those things, other
Right.
people that work in that industry is gonna see, yo, this dude just gets it. He's not in the union, so I could get him for a little cheaper than what I could get in the unions, somebody union, and this nigga work is way better. So I was
Right.
negotiating my own contracts with CBS and NBC, and I started working um on Vibe. My man Chris Spencer, he had Vibe TV. I
Facts. I
started
remember
cutting
that.
hair
I
on
remember that.
yeah. So I was cutting hair on there. I got to cut the OJs, like a whole bunch of people. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, hold on. Before we get too ahead of the game, because now I got a Chris Spencer question at that.
Yeah.
But when you went to fashion and design,
hmm
did you who did you know that became famous in there? Because I know a lot of famous people went there.
No, I didn't go to fashion. I didn't go to art and design. No, Omar and Mitch and Marlon went to art and design. I didn't go there.
Where you
I
went
went to
again?
fashion. I went to fashion industries.
Oh,
See,
fashion
that's what I'm saying.
industries.
Art and design was another big school where a lot of artists
Right.
and athletes coming from. Yeah, now my school was strictly for dudes that's sewing, like a lot of fashion people that's big in the fashion industry went there. I don't really know them dudes, but you know what I'm
All
saying? Like a
right.
lot of them big fashion dudes. Yeah, now my school was known for clothes and the bitches. You know what
All
I'm
right.
saying?
I got one more question, Tiz. Then you can ask one real quick.
Right.
When you did Major League 2, did you get to meet Charlie Sheen?
Hell yeah. Hell
Oh,
yeah.
How was
word?
that nigga?
Hell yeah. Look, I was a young dude, so I was just sitting there looking at him. Like, first of all this is new to me.
Right.
I know that motherfucker trailer was the size of a truck.
Right.
That motherfucker trailer, and mind you, Charlie Sheen was young back then. He was maybe like 25, and he was
right.
getting a few million for this movie. You know what I'm saying? So to
Right.
see the way people were swarming around this dude was ill. Like, did I have any personal interaction, like at a party with him? Nah, it wasn't like that. But yeah, I'd see him like on the set or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't. Nah, I didn't get the party with him. But nah, but
Nah, that's good
he
shit.
was the best
Anyway,
the whole time.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah. Hell yeah, that's good, man. So you started being around these people at what age?
I was like 20, 21. No, I wasn't even 20. I wasn't even 21. I was between 19 and 20. Because I remember I wasn't even old enough to buy liquor when I first moved to LA. Yep.
Shit.
And
I
this
wasn't
all
even old
and
enough.
this all these connections came from Big Daddy Kane, from being in the Ain't No Half Stepping video.
No. See, and that's the thing. No, it didn't come from being Big Daddy Kane cousin. See, that's what I need you
Okay.
to understand and everybody to understand.
Okay.
You can be around people, right? Because people are around famous people all the time. But
Right.
they fuck it up with their action. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
niggas don't like me because I'm Kane's cousin. That's what I'm saying. Niggas like me because I'm shorty, because I'm me. They fuck
Sure.
with me whether they see me, you know what I'm saying? Wherever.
Facts.
Yo, my man, what up? You know what I'm saying?
Right. Okay. I got you. Yep.
So there's a difference. That's what I'm saying. And that's because I was prepared for the moments when I was thrown into them. I was able to perform with what somebody asked me to perform. Don't say you a
Facts.
dope rapper, then when niggas throw you on stage, you go, check it, check it. No, nigga, rap your ass off. You've been talking shit,
Right.
nigga.
Right.
Do it.
Right.
You supposed to be prepared, you know.
Right.
Nah,
But that's
it's definitely
but you gotta take advantage of those opportunities because yo, on the real, sometimes it's just that one.
right. Right.
Right.
So
Sometimes it's just that one.
right.
Yeah.
Right. So you got another question?
Now I was gonna say, so when you did the Major League 2, right? That was the first movie that you was in, right?
Well, I wasn't in that movie, but I worked on it. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
I
you
was
worked on a
I cut
set. So
yeah, I just cut his hair. Yeah, I was just cutting Omar Epps hair.
Yeah, his fade was in it.
okay.
His skills was in it.
So right. So that was back in the 90s, right?
Exactly.
So well, back then, as far as like cutting a celebrity's hair, was it the same price as they charging niggas today? Because today they charging niggas like 50, 60, sometimes 100, and some celebrities, some like famous barbers that I know now, they be charging like 500 a head. So being that Omar was famous, but I know that was your boy, so you probably gave him a homie discount. But how was the prices back then? How much was you charging back then?
I'm gonna be honest. When I was cutting hair on the Lower East Side of Manhattan, right? I
Mm-hmm.
was charging $10 a haircut,
Okay.
$15 with a shave, and if you got a design, it was 20, 25. 25 was the highest. You know what I mean?
Right.
Right.
Uh, When I went with Omar Epps, he was giving me $500 just to come down there on the weekends and cut his hair.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? Five
And
hundred
that's the
dollars, right?
90s. Damn.
Yeah. Now, when we went out to LA, he was giving me the same thing, $500 a week, right? But I was cutting other niggas here. You know what I'm saying?
Oh. Mm-hmm.
So, Buster was in higher learning, so I cut Buster Rhymes here for higher learning. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Um, you know, and I of course cutting Omar and then a lot of other people on the set. So I was charging them, just regular people, $50 back then. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? But when I did business in the industry, my quote at that time was like between 150 and 250 a day.
Mm.
And this is
Okay.
stuff I was just negotiating on my own, non-union,
Facts.
going to places like, yo, just a nigga from Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else like, oh, you could have got more. You could, yeah, all right. I probably could have got more. But
Right.
this an opportunity. This what I negotiated. This good for me. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Facts.
And that's another thing, man. Listen, man. When you doing something and it's working for you, stay in your motherfucking lane, man.
Exactly. Facts.
Don't don't let the cheerleader on the side that's not doing nothing tell you how to do something because they don't have nothing to lose. I'm not
Mm.
saying don't listen to nobody. You know what I'm saying? But there's always the nigga that's gonna fuck your shit up is gonna be this nigga. You know what you should do? The nigga that
Right.
say that
Right.
is gonna fuck your
Right.
shit up.
Right. Right.
Facts. No, that's crazy.
Because you doing your thing, you go try it somebody else's way, or try this new kind of thing that he never did, and it's out of your control. You don't know what you're
Right.
doing then. So
Right.
sometimes it's better to learn at a slower pace. Don't worry about what homeboy doing. You're gonna get to that point. But master your craft, put in your 100 hours. That's what I'm
Right.
saying. See, this whole lesson of life is like a circle, and these is things that I kept having to learn the hard way. You know what I'm saying? And being on your own, being away out and all the way out in California, mind you, it wasn't no Cash App or nothing,
Right.
right? It was only Western Union. So if I fucked up at 19 or 20 years old, I had to wait till fucking Western Union opened. It wasn't no debit card or online shit back then. This is what I'm saying. This is the real 90s, the hardcore shit.
Right.
So a lot of people be like, yo, man, I wouldn't have moved out there that young. What would have happened? I was the type of nigga that'd be like, hey, what could happen? Let's go.
Right. Swear to God.
Let's
Sacrifice.
go.
Yeah.
Let's go. Don't be scared. Let's go. What's the
Right.
worst that could happen?
Right.
Yeah, that's a fact.
You know? All I
So
said was, all I need is 350 for a plane ticket to get back home, and I'm good if shit go wrong.
right. Right. That's it.
I could
You know what
always
I'm saying?
cut $350 worth of hair to get back to New York if shit get hard. You know what I'm saying? Don't be
Uh,
Facts.
scared, man. Don't be scared. My blow up wasn't in Brooklyn like a lot of other cats. You know what I'm saying? Some cats get the like Biggie. He got the blow up where he was. I
Right.
didn't get that opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you gotta go and get that shit. Don't be scared.
No
that's a fact.
facts.
That's a fact.
You got a question?
Now I was gonna say, being that you was on the set of Higher Learning and you was cutting Busta Rhymes here, so did you ever? Because I know Ice Cube was in that movie. So did you meet the West Coast OG or not?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
how was he?
Yo,
How
yo,
was he?
he was exactly how he was in High Alert. He was the big brother.
Word,
No,
word.
no, no, because understand, he had just did a big movie.
Right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He did Minister Society. You know what I'm saying? No,
Oh,
I'm sorry, I'm
boys in the
sorry,
hood.
Boys in the Hood.
Nah, Boys
I'm
in the
sorry, he
Hood.
did
Yeah.
Boys in the Hood. Yeah,
Yeah.
he did Boys in the Hood. So this was his second movie.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's why they was pairing him with Omar Epps. You know what I'm saying? Now this was his next step up, you know?
Mm.
And ever since then, and that's another person I watched. He wasn't Ice Cube, the rapper, like I thought he was gonna be. I thought he was gonna be all up like, yo, what up, y'all? And
Right.
he was the total opposite. He was so focused on being an actor. You all right, kid?
Yeah. Biggie. You already know. That smoke,
Yeah, he
baby.
was so focused on being an actor, and he was super professional. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
Now, have you ever thought of Ice Cube being corny or being a crumb? You know what I'm saying?
Nah.
It's
Nah,
cool.
I never.
It's
Yeah,
cool to
I
be
never
on.
thought that.
You never thought that, right?
Right.
Nah.
It's cool to be on time for work. It's cool to be professional. It's cool to give niggas a good product. Black people time is not cool. That
Right.
shit costs money.
Yeah.
Customer service is everything. I know some niggas whose skills ain't that good, but they customer service is banging. So niggas give them the business.
Yeah. That make a lot
And
of
that's
sense.
the shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And I think that's something that we all got to do as black people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like we tend to not support each other. Why? Because there's a few that when they do business, they come whenever they want. The prices is
Or nigga
extremely low.
time.
Yeah, they come on nigga time. You know
Nigga
what I'm
time.
saying?
Yeah.
They open a bar. You know what I'm saying? You go there, you trying to support them. You got to pay $10 for parking. Then they want to charge you to get in the spot. Then you go in there and you get a shot that you just gonna swallow, and they want $20. Yo,
Yeah.
you know
That's
what
a
I'm
fact.
saying?
That's a fact.
And then the customer service is not worth what I'm paying. You know what I'm saying? So we have to deliver a good product, along with good customer service. You know what I'm saying? No
Right.
matter what you're doing, customer service is important.
That make a lot of
That's
sense because, you know, us growing up in the hood, that make a lot of sense because us growing up in the hood, you know, we always had our favorite stores because of the people who worked there. You know what I'm saying? Like we always had the favorite store to go to. Like, yo, I'm going, yeah, let's go over. Nah. I'm going to Wally's, my nigga. You know what I'm
you
saying?
see what I'm saying?
Straight
You'll
up.
go a little farther, you'll spend a little more because you like the customer service.
Right.
You know what I'm
Facts.
saying? And I
Right.
think that's important. You know what I mean? You know, like I said, no matter what you're doing, if you're selling clothes, you know what I'm saying? What's your angle? What's your customer service? Why, you
No,
know,
that's
like why should people buy your product?
Right.
right. And generally, you know, just having a good attitude and you know what I mean, being respectful to the customer, you know what I'm saying? Even you know what I'm saying? Even when they kind of get out of hand, you got to be able to de-escalate the shit and make the shit go. But everything, I did a lot of customer service jobs, and I used to be like, "Yo, man, this the gig. The gig is to be nice. The gig is to take some shit and turn the shit around and still treat the customer like you know I still got you, no matter you just came out your fucking face. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
And that's
Well,
but
it is. So that's where, you know, another place where I was winning. It was my customer service with the celebrities.
right.
right,
You know what I'm saying? I was willing to hop on a plane and fly anywhere. I didn't have no excuse for not being there on time. When they called me like, yo, I got a fucking ticket waiting for you at the airport. Can you leave in 2 hours? Yep.
yes, I'm
Right.
there, nigga,
Yeah.
in an
I'm
hour.
there. Yep. Yep.
I buy clothes when I get out there, nigga. I'm there, nigga. Don't worry about it.
Right.
Figure
Right.
all that other shit out later.
Right, let me
But get
get
to the
there.
fucking airport
Yeah,
and perform. You know what I'm
right.
saying? All I need is my clippers. I'm good.
You just
Right.
got to show
Right.
up.
You know what I'm saying? And you know, to the fathers out there, you know what I'm saying? You know, my grandfather, you know, God bless that man, you know, he taught me the most valuable lesson in life. He used to be a carpenter. He used to make like shelving, you know what I'm saying, for
Right.
rich people. And he used to wake me up in the summer when I was like 6, 7 years old, 4 o'clock in the morning. And we used to leave from downtown Brooklyn. I live with my grandparents, downtown Brooklyn, Albee Square, drive all the way to the Bronx, up on Fordham Road. That's where his shop was. And he make me work with him on Saturdays and Sundays in the summer.
Mm.
Of course, I'm crying like a little fucking baby. Like, yo, man, I don't
Right.
want to do this. I want to be, you know what I'm saying, with
In the
my
Right.
streets.
friends. And
Right.
he said, yo, I never forget this. He let me sit there. I was sitting on the back. He said, oh my God. He said, you finished? I go, yeah, you go wipe your face. He said, see, I'm doing this because I don't want you to like it. I don't want you to have to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning to go to work. I
Mm.
want you to figure something out where you could go on the time you want to go because obviously you don't like it.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? He
Right.
said, and another thing, I'm trying to teach you how to do something with your hand. He said, see, when you're able to do something with your hand, you don't need nobody to employ you. You see what I'm saying? So
Right.
to all the fathers out there, start teaching your sons how to do something with their hands. If you don't know how to do nothing, get your kids ready for electrician school. Get your kids ready for plumbing school. You know what I'm saying?
You sound like
Excuse
the
me.
OGs. You got to have a trade, nigga.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's even more than that. If you a plumber, right? You could work on Wall Street, but guess what? If your pipes bust, you good. You saving a couple of thousand. If
Right.
somebody else pipes bust, you can make you a couple of extra dollars. You see what I'm saying? You'll
Right.
never go hungry. If you lose your job on Wall Street, you got what you know how to do with your hands. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So we need to teach our boys how to do shit with their hands. Therefore, we won't be so dependent on any system. You know what I'm saying? On any system. Like, yo, man, I don't need a place to employ me because I could work with my hands. Niggas is always gonna need a haircut in my lifetime. You know what I'm saying? The Jetson shit ain't out where you could put, go sit the shit and sit under the fucking thing and press a button and you cut your hair. That don't exist right now. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
And maybe that's another 50 years away, so I'm good. I got another 25 where I can still get me some money. You know what I mean? But that's
Right.
how you gotta think. How am I gonna feed myself if nobody else is going to? We gotta have that kind of mentality for our son.
You know what? That make a lot of sense, bro. Because I be telling, because I'm a prime believer in like we all were born with like gifts and talents, right? I honestly believe in that. But you just gotta find your niche, like how you did. You found your niche, like you said. I was in my cousin's video. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't want to like be his shadow. So I had to find my niche. I had to do my own network and put my foot on the ground, start running. So everybody got their own talents. You just gotta utilize what you got and work for yourself. Like your grandfather said, make the time work for you. You know what I'm saying? Make the money
Exactly.
work for you. So I
Exactly.
honestly believe in that. So I know what you're saying, bro.
Yeah, and I think that's important. When we have that kind of mentality, we'll open more businesses.
Hell
You
yeah.
know what I'm saying? Stop, stop,
Facts.
stop raising our kids to be like, yo, go to college to get a job. Hold on, so
Right.
you want me to pay 250,000, 100,000 to go to school to get a job to work for somebody else? After you go to school all that time, you should be know everything you need to fucking know. Go do that shit on your motherfucking own.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Stop
Yeah.
looking. And here's another thing we got to stop doing as black people. Please listen to me, black people. Please. Yeah, I'm on a soapbox right now, but I'm just keeping it 100, right?
Right. Preach.
Stop. We have to stop looking for the fame and look for the fucking money.
My boy.
I'm going to say it again for the people that didn't hear me in the back. We got to stop looking for the fame and
Mm-hmm.
start looking at the money. All right?
Right.
Because check it. To me, this just don't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say if you a ill rapper and you make a ill hit record in your crib, your boy did the beat, y'all just created some ill shit. It happens. It's happened before, right?
Right.
Now you have two choices because when you wake up every day, you got two things: a chance and a choice, right?
Mm.
So you got, yeah, for real. Every morning you wake up, there's two things you got. You got a chance to do something, and you got a choice to do it. What you gonna
Right.
do? You
Mm.
know what I'm saying? So it's like you make this record, and what you could do is you could get your own website and put your music on your own website and sell that music $10 a piece and get
Right.
all of that money.
Right.
Why would you take that record to a record company and tell them, I'm gonna give you $1 million, but this is debt.
Man.
This is debt. Your credit score is 20, and I'm giving you $1 million. You know how high interest that fucking $1 million loan is? That's a
Exactly.
$1 million loan,
Exactly.
right? So now check it. You go out there, you perform, you traveling all around the world, they give you some chains and shit. You sell 500,000 records at $10 a piece, and you still in debt for $1 million.
The setup.
Yo, what I
We're
say is
throwing
this to
money.
you. What I say is this to you is this. Like, know why niggas get caught up in them deals and shit like that, and have to run to the labels because they got the artistry. They can make the music. They just ain't got no business acumen, so they don't know what to do with the product. It's like a nigga that could get the coke, turn in the crack, but he don't know how to go downstairs, sell his shit. He don't know who to connect with. He don't know that he gotta have a nigga that's ready to bust his gun when shit go down. He don't know that. It's almost like watching when I watch Snowfall. Son ain't know shit about nothing. You know what I'm saying? At the beginning, that's what I got. Probably why I didn't like it. And he was getting, and niggas was running through him. So it's kind of
That's
like
one
that.
way
So
to
when
look at it. No, that's one way to look at it, or you could call it what it really is. The easy way is a cop out.
I mean, it's probably a cop out for a
Check it.
nigga that I would
Check
think
it. Go ahead. Check
know
it. Just hear
better.
this out. Check it. Just hear this out. Think about it.
Yeah,
It's more work and it's harder and it's a longer struggle to get $1 million at $10 a wop on your own than somebody just handing you $1 million check, right? Even though that $1 million is debt. So that's really
right,
not $1 million you have. That's $1 million in debt. When
right.
if you'd have worked for yourself, that would have been $1 million in profit. You
Yo,
see what I'm
listen,
saying?
it's
Right.
really $2 million because you're gonna spend that million and now you gotta pay this nigga back $1 million.
Right.
That's why I said it's debt. That's why I said it's debt.
Yeah.
Your credit score is a 20.
Right,
This is a high interest loan.
right,
You owe this
That.
dude $1,900,000 on a $1 million loan.
Right.
right.
You know what I'm
It
saying?
might as well be
So
2 million. It might as well, like I said, 2 million, baby. So it's just
yeah.
crazy.
So it's like why do we need the record industry if we doing the music, we doing the performance? Like I'm saying, do you want to see, Leo Cohen, Russell Simmons, and LA and Babyface live at Madison Square Garden? No.
Nah, hell no.
You don't go to see them, but for some reason we've flipped it to where the people that nobody really cares to see is getting all the money, and the people came to see ain't getting none of the money. You
That's
know what I mean?
everything.
Right.
That's
Right.
everything. That's football. That's sports. That's sports. That's a lot of shit, and it all entails with black people. It's always black people shit or people, you know what I mean, of
Because it's
ethnicity
because it's
shit.
harder.
You know what I
Because
mean?
it's harder. Because it's harder for every black man in the NBA to say, you want to know what? We gonna quit and start our own league.
Right,
They rather take. That's what I'm saying. They rather take the money from the. I'm not knocking people, but this is what
right,
I'm saying. This is everybody's mentality across the board. Think about it. If every black person in America, no matter what it is, said, you want to know what? We not working for this establishment no more. We gonna work for ourselves. All the black NBA players quit. They join together and start their league. They gonna charge people $30 to come in. They still renting out the stadiums to play in, but they getting all the money into the players. You know what I'm saying?
right,
You know, that's what I'm saying. Think across every industry. if
Yeah.
if if, if people stop making records and putting it on Interscope and you know what I'm saying, and we all did it independently, we don't need them. You don't
That make
need to sell 1 million records to make $1 million. That's what I'm
that,
saying. If you
that
doing
make
it
a
on
lot of
your
sense.
own, you
That
got
makes
to
so
do.
much
We
sense,
have to
bro.
change our mentality. We put a middleman in that's taking a big profit, but
Right.
we doing all the work.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. If we totally change our mentality and the way we do business with each other and just work with ourselves, you know what I'm saying? First, we'll be so much farther and get more money. But like I said, it's just easier for somebody else to give you $1 million check than it
The
is to
cop out.
make $1 million at $10 per person. You know what I'm
right.
Yeah.
saying? I'm
Cop out.
using that as an example.
So let's get back to, so you was at, because I want to get a little deep into the story and some more stories. Um,
Yeah,
so you was at Vibe. You was cutting Chris Spencer here, I'm assuming.
yeah, yeah. I was cutting Chris Spencer here. You know what I'm saying? And then I was working with the Wayne's brothers on the Wayne's Brothers show. I cut on there for like
Oh.
what 3 seasons or something like that. 3 seasons. I was cutting him and Sean. I did movies with Marlon. I cut him and Kadeem Hardison for a movie up in Canada. That was fun.
Mm.
Man, like it was a lot of fun. You know what I'm saying? Um, Marlon is like one of the realest dudes. Him and Omar. Yo, all that Hollywood shit, that ain't them. Those are some real dudes, man. They gave me an
Oh yeah.
opportunity. And shout out to Omar Epps because of that first opportunity he gave me. Anything that happens in my career, I really owe it to that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I took it and ran with it, but he opened that door for me. And that's something I'm gonna always be appreciative of.
Yeah.
Nah,
Yeah.
that's crazy, B. You know,
Yeah.
just a chance meeting. You know, he would you know what I'm saying? And you know, just to go from there and to be cutting niggas' heads and shit like that. And that basically, your journey was crazy, man. And it was, you know, it's one of those where I don't even think as a little kid, probably before you got 16, 17, you ever thought, I'm gonna be a barber. You probably thought, I'm gonna do this. And then it's just funny how the world, you know what I'm saying?
Man, listen. Before I started cutting hair, I was gonna be the illest motherfucking rapper in the goddamn world. Niggas was gonna be,
Right. Right.
you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? I
Yeah.
was gonna be the
Yep.
illest nigga. Like, yo, y'all niggas think Kane is nice? Oh, I'm practicing, nigga. Oh, I got something
Right.
for y'all. You know,
Now, let me ask you a question. This is what was on my mind. I said it a couple weeks ago to Tiz. When the transition came, like like Kane was hot in 88, 89, 90, maybe 91, I want to say still too, right? Did them niggas see how quick it was going to change? Like when Nas and Wu Tang and everybody else came in the building, and it just kind of went from Kane and the who else was that? L Cool J probably was on top back then. You know what I'm
Digging in the
saying?
crates.
Heavy D, huh?
Digging in the crates. Juice Crew.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I mean, like, did they see the transition? Like, damn, them niggas left us mad quick. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, let me tell you something. That's so ill you asked that question, right? Because when that transition in hip hop came, that happened because of one thing. One specific thing did that.
Mm.
When NWA and Eazy-E was on MTV, or yeah, it was like MTV, like Yo MTV Raps or something like that back then.
Yeah.
They was riding around LA with the shotguns and all of that.
I remember that.
Bet
Yep.
this nigga do.
I remember
When they
that.
dropped when they dropped that album and people seen that, we was like, this is some real motherfucking shit. And it changed people focus from the lyrics to more of a visual. See,
Mm-hmm.
think about it. From the 80s and really even before that, it wasn't a lot of videos. You know what I'm saying? Like we had U68, you know what I'm saying? But Kane and them had one or two videos that, it wasn't overly saturated with
Right.
visual. You know what I'm saying? It was more wax and records back then. You know what I'm saying? Now with the explosion of BET, MTV, and all of this, you have to see these people constantly all the time. So we were seeing this negative. I don't like to call NWA negative because I'm not trying to sound like a goody two shoe, but I'm
Mm,
just saying you're hearing these negative words and songs of violence as
Right.
opposed to real lyrics that's just not getting a play on MTV and all that now. You know what I'm saying? The common
Right.
senses and all of that. That's not what they pushing. You know what I'm saying? They pushing
Right.
the motherfucking and then the more vulgar and the more wild it gets, the more people want to see it. I mean,
right.
look me now. You know what I'm saying? People like controversy.
Yeah.
People like controversy. Yo, let me
Yep.
tell you something. If y'all was to ask me the right question and I was to give you the right answer, and it was some fucked up shit about somebody, this clip would blow the fuck up out of the blue. A million. Oh my God, look at it. And next thing you know, y'all got a whole bunch of people signing up. People running negativity. But when you
Yeah.
talk about something positive and you talk about doing some real shit, niggas run from that. They run from the responsibility of being real. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we got to get back to being real, and stop all this slander. Grown ass men going on podcasts. Oh, I used to do it, implicating themselves in murders and all types of what. Yo, B, you a senior citizen, homie.
Right.
You a senior citizen. What
Right.
what are y'all doing?
Right.
Since when do tough guys go around talking about work? Like it just doesn't make sense to me. You know what I
Right.
mean? And that, but that's what I'm saying. That's how far we've come. It's come from the point where the ill dude got, he was famous because he was quiet about his shit, but everybody knew it. You know what I'm saying? And then
Mhm.
all of a sudden, the victim took his shine. Now it was cool to be victimized. I got shot. Yeah, I got stabbed. Nigga, you was a victim, nigga. Remember niggas say that on TV? Yeah, I got shot. I got
They glorify
You a
that now these
victim.
days.
They glorified being a
Yeah.
victim. You
Yo,
know what I'm saying?
yo,
Yeah.
no bullshit. They got a movie coming out that's out right now called Novocaine. That nigga a victim the whole movie.
You see what I'm saying?
Right, right.
Ew,
Shot and
crazy.
stabbed was like they go on talking to go on Soul Train and whatnot with Don Cornelius. Yeah, I got shot 5 times. You know what I'm saying? You know they lying too. I got shot 5 times. Stabbed once, but it don't mean nothing. I'm still here. Nah, nigga, you was a victim. That's
Right,
That's
not
that nigga
cool.
man. He fuck with
right,
that nigga
That's
in the
not.
corner right there.
right.
Yeah, man. So that's what I'm saying. We got to that to now where everybody got to be slandered now. Everybody's gay.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Everybody look, and they don't need no proof. They just say it. You know what
Mm.
I'm
Right.
saying? Need
Yeah.
proof. They just go and slander a nigga. Why are you slandering a nigga? Won't you just either buy a ticket to the nigga show or start putting in your 100 hours and working on your craft so you ain't got time to sit around and talk about another nigga. Put in
Right.
your 100 hours and start bettering yourself. But that's
Right.
the
Facts.
problem we got. You know what I'm saying?
So when you started dealing with the Wayans, um, did you get to meet like Bernie Mac and people like that? Was you around then? Them episodes?
Pops,
Nah.
John Witherspoon,
Or
Yeah.
John
Pops. I used to,
Mace.
Witherspoon, Pops?
yeah. John Witherspoon. I used to be on the set with him all the time. He was mad cool. Sean and Marlon, mad cool. You know what I'm saying? I even got to meet Antonio Fargas, Huggy Bear, mad cool.
Oh, Huggy Bear. Yeah, I was on the
Stop
plane.
And
playing.
That nigga.
and what was ill was we was shooting on Sunset Gower, which is the Warner Brothers lot, right? And
Hmm.
that was where they used to film all the WB shows and the Channel 9 shows. You know what I'm saying? UPN.
UPN. Yeah.
Yeah. And um in the house was right next to us. They was right across from us. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? LL was shooting his show right across from us. Moesha was like in another building from us. She wasn't in the same building. But you could walk over there. You know what I'm
Yeah.
Right.
saying? Um, so like he was, Fredro was on the show back then. So it was like cool niggas on the set, and we used to just be running around having mad fun. You know what I mean?
Right. Right. So
It was a good time.
I know. I want to go back to when you said you used to cut Omar here in Brooklyn, right? And he was giving you $500 a weekend, right?
Yeah, that was in Baltimore.
So,
I used to go down to Baltimore to cut his hair. Yeah, I
oh,
was going to
Baltimore.
Baltimore. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So the question I wanted to ask about that was, being that you was getting $500 to cut his hair for the weekend, didn't know Omar before you met, like before
Juice.
before that, right? You didn't know him
Who,
like personally.
nah,
You didn't grow up with him, right?
nah. We didn't go to the same school or nothing. Like I met him because he, like I said, he just, came to Kane crib to hang out because he was with Trent. You know what I'm saying? So you're like, Kane and Tretch the same age, but Omar is me and Shane age. You know what I mean? So
Right.
he just hung out with us, and that was how I got it.
And he had brought you to L.A., right?
Yeah, he brought me to LA for the first time. And that was when we were shooting Higher Learning. That was crazy because he brought us out to LA. We landed 2 weeks after the big earthquake that
Okay.
knocked down like all the bridges and everything. So it
Yeah,
was
I
ill
remember that.
because
Yeah.
yeah, it was ill because like we had to take the streets everywhere because the highway was down. You
Mm.
Right.
know what I'm saying? So you know, you really got to see LA. You know what I'm saying? And our dumbasses, we from out here. We don't know nothing about that culture. We running around with a Nietzsche and all that. That shit is heavy red, heavy blue, and we just
Yeah.
driving through different areas like, yo, this shit is
Right.
yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yep.
But yeah, LA was crazy back then, but we was always rolling with some cool dudes, that was from out here. So they still friends of mine. So,
Right.
Okay. Yeah. So being that the reason I asked that question because I was gonna go back to what you were saying, what we was talking about earlier, as far as like customer service means a lot. And being that you met Omar through your cousin Big Daddy Kane, and Omar came to your Big Daddy Kane crib with Tretch, and then y'all started networking, you started cutting his hair in Baltimore, and he brought you to LA. You know what I'm saying? Just off of networking and customer service alone, because he seen that you was a real dude. You know what I'm saying? So this is the message that you was telling the people, like, customer service means a lot, because you could get places just from being yourself instead of trying to, like you said, be in your cousin's shadow. By you just doing
exactly.
your footwork, you could get places yourself. You just got to put it in and be loyal. You know what I'm saying? Know what you want to do, find your niche. So
And
that
what
that
and
means
what
a
made
lot,
me
man. I
feel
always used to tell people that.
yeah, yeah, and what made me feel really good, it was a dude out here that I knew, for a while, and I was at a party, and Kane was there because he had flew out here,
Mm-hmm.
and the dude was like, yo, let me introduce you to my man Shorty, and Kane was like, yo, that's my cousin. He was like, "Man,
Right.
you ain't never tell me, so it went from me being Kane's cousin to, oh shit, Kane is your cousin.
Right.
Like it wasn't Shorty Kane's cousin. You know what I'm saying? It was, oh shit, Kane is your cousin. Like that's just an
Right.
added bonus. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? That's just a plus. So that made me feel good, like, oh, so niggas know me for me and not for my cousin. You know
Facts.
what I
And
mean?
niggas
My name
ain't
was yeah,
fanboys.
yeah. Like my name was holding its own water. So that meant something, you know.
Nah, that's crazy. So when doing your travels, man, who what's like one of the craziest stories that what I mean, that you got about somebody that you met where, what I mean, you didn't expect that to happen.
The craziest story I could tell you.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was 16. No, I was younger than that. I was 15. Yep, I was 15. And I knew Fade from Shirt King, right? Shout out to Fade from Shirt King. So I wanted a suit so bad. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't have all that money. So, you know, that
Like,
Fade, man, I need a suit. He said, I'll tell you what, work for me for some of the summer, and then I said, all right, cool. So I used to have to take the train up to Dapper Dan's store in Harlem, because that was where he was, Shirt King was working out.
Right.
And my job was simple: hang out with him. He had a Honda scooter back then. He paint shirts, deliver them with him, hang out with him all day, not doing nothing. If he send me on a run, go get him some food, whatever. Simple shit. You know what I mean? Um, so one day I'm up there with him, and a Rolls Royce pull up.
Excuse me.
It's Mike Tyson, right?
Shit.
Mike Tyson. Tyson coming up there to get some shit from Dapper Dan. Yo, word is born. This is word is born truth. Mike Tyson out there getting something from Dapper Dan. So I'm like, oh shit, Mike Tyson. You know what I'm saying? Mitch Green walks up. I seen that shit, son.
You seen the
Tyson
Mike
walked that
Tyson and Mitch Green fight?
when that
That's
nigga. It wasn't
crazy.
no fight. It wasn't no fight, nigga. Mitch Green was popping mad. It wasn't no fight, nigga. I was there. Mitch Green was popping mad shit. Mike was walking up in there, and then he just said the wrong thing to Mike. You ain't no champ. You ain't shit. Da, da, da. Boo! Yo, I just heard doo, doo. Yo, the nigga
right.
shit, nigga. He hit that nigga so hard, and I was a little nigga, so I was like, oh my God. Like, I never seen a nigga get hit that hard, nigga.
Right.
Yeah, son. Yeah. I was there for that. So that was some crazy shit.
Nah, that nigga murdered that nigga. That nigga had a lump on top of a lump, nigga.
Right.
Yeah,
Get
that
your
was some
shit
crazy.
rock one like I seen Rockman.
Yeah.
Shit was crazy. The other, I think the biggest other thing that really fucked me up was I was I went to the party that Big got killed that night.
Oh, word.
But I left early. You know what I'm saying? I left early. I went down there. I got in there with somebody. I was like, it's just too many people. You know what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
I ain't gonna front. I had bags on. So I was out of there. I was good. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
then at like 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, niggas from Brooklyn was beeping me because we had beepers back then.
Right.
Niggas was beeping me and they told me what happened. So that shit was crazy. I was like, nigga, I was just down. Like I had literally like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
Just
literally
left the
like just
spot.
left there and that
Yeah.
shit just happened. You know what I mean? So that shit was crazy. That was another ill time that kind of stick in my head. Like, damn, I was right there. Like that shit was bonkers. You know what I mean? So those
Right.
was two ill times. Two of the
How
ills,
how how was the energy out there? Like you out there, they say, yo, them niggas killed that Brooklyn rapper. How's niggas like talking and shit around there?
They didn't like New York niggas out there for a while.
Right.
The temperature was high. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna wear my Timbs every day and my New York hat. And
Right. Right.
like, see, that's what I'm saying. It's like, I live out here in LA now. I still dress like a New York nigga. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? They know I'm from New York, my
Mhm.
accent ain't changed. Um, if you stay out of situations and you be real, you gonna be all right. You gonna be
That's
all
a
right.
fact. That's a fact.
I'm
Right.
saying, shit happens, but you gonna be all right. You know what I'm saying? But it's when you fronting, you're gonna get yourself in a situation that you don't know how to control.
Right.
Like you front, this ain't really you. You know what I'm saying? Somebody gonna test you. You know what I'm
Right.
Right.
saying? It's always like that. You know what I mean? So that's just something that I always stayed me. Look, I met some niggas in life that just don't like me, that just don't want to fuck with me. And that's cool. And I don't like them niggas either, for whatever reason. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
It's not nothing I did to them. They just don't fuck with me. I'm not their cup of tea. And that's cool.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not pushing myself on them and I'm not gonna change who I am to fuck with nobody.
Hell no.
That's just something we gotta
Hell
keep in
no.
mind. You know what I mean? That's something we all gotta keep in mind.
Yo,
You can't be fucked.
I got a question, right? I'm gonna go. I don't know what direction it's gonna go, but I'm about to ask this shit, right? All right. Back in the 90s, we had the heartthrob females or whatever, right? So I'm
Huh?
pretty sure you know where I'm about to go with it. Uh, we had the Nia Longs, the Stacey Dashes, the Tyra Banks, the Regina Kings. Uh, who else? Well, the movies, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
being that you was on set of some of the most popular movies, some of the hood classics or whatever,
You said
uh,
how you learning, Tyra Banks for sure.
yeah, that's what I'm saying, Tyra Banks. So did you ever have a chance to date any of these famous women or the women that you had crushes on back then? You know what I'm saying? Did you have a chance to get with them personally? Like, not even sex, just like interact with them.
No comment. I gotta leave it there. I'm gonna leave
Yo,
it right
Yo,
what
there.
show? What
I'm gonna
what
leave
what
it there.
movie? What show?
I'm gonna leave
right,
it
throw
there,
a hint.
son. Nah, I'm gonna leave it there, son. It's nah, kid. Nah, because you want to know why, son. I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be real. Like, um, first and foremost, like I respect women.
Right.
And I just don't think that's cool to do, to
Nah,
bring up
I ain't
something
saying
like that.
no, I
No,
wasn't
no,
saying
no,
like no
Nah,
no.
we
I
names.
ain't
get
had
the
to put
point.
no
No,
names.
I don't
We
no,
want
no,
just
you
no.
to
put
I
say
get
no
the
names.
question. No, I get the question.
yeah.
Okay, I'll say yes. Yes. but I won't say who. That's
That's
what I'll
Right.
good.
do. I'll
That's
That's
say
good.
that's
yes.
that's all I
Okay.
want to know.
I'll
That's
say
all I
yeah.
want to
I'll
know.
say yes. I'll and it was yo, and let me tell you something. It was about 9 or 10 months of the most fun I ever had and wildest experience in my life. I'll tell you that much.
And
It
that
was
was
different. That's wild.
that was over there in LA, right?
Yeah, yeah. It was wild. It was different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that shit was
Yeah.
crazy. You know, it was
That's all I want to
you
know
know.
because I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, I'm like being
Yeah,
around.
I just didn't want to say who. I could tell you, yeah, but I just didn't want to say who. So yeah, I'll
Yeah,
say
I don't
yeah.
want you. I don't want you to say the names for the simple fact we, just like you said earlier, we ain't trying to slander nobody. You know what I'm saying? Like we could get that off the record. You know what I'm saying? Like, but the
I'm gonna
thing
tell you
is,
some real shit. I'm gonna tell you some real shit. One night, me and this person that I was with went out with, and you can look on the front of Ebony magazine. Vivica Fox was dating this dude at the time. You
mhm,
know what I'm saying? Light skinned dude. I forgot his name. You know what I'm saying? But he was similar to me. Like, me and him had two of the baddest pieces in the joint, and we wasn't nobody making money like that. You know what I'm saying?
right,
Um, and let me tell you something. He said something, and it made me feel so uncomfortable with who I was. I felt like I had become somebody that I wasn't. And here's what I mean by it. Look, it opened me up to going to new spots and, experiencing things I never experienced and food I never had before and, eating at, these wild, ill expensive restaurants you only read about. You know what I'm saying? And trips and, you know, cribs and all that shit. You know what I mean?
right,
That part was good, right? What he said was we was sitting there. He was like, man, I went over to the ATM. I was trying to get some money, pulled out a little $500. 500 ain't gonna do nothing. Like, now hold on. Like, I'm like, I make that in a week, is what I'm saying. You know what I'm
right,
saying?
mhm,
Right.
And I'm looking at this nigga like, why are you fronting around these people? And then I just felt like they always looked at us. Not saying that they did, but just the people that we were around, that I was around at that moment, was looking at me like they was looking at him.
right, right, right,
Nigga, you fronting on somebody else tab, B. So
Mm.
it
right,
didn't make me feel the way some people, you know what I'm saying? The way some people, um, like I just couldn't do it. You know what I'm
right,
saying? Me, I couldn't do it. I couldn't again date a woman of that, especially not in this time where everybody got a camera and shit. You know what I'm saying? I
Right.
couldn't date a celebrity woman, um, because she kind of leaves, man. Like you can't compare that money bracket. Like
right,
that's a issue for me. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? So I would
Yeah.
have to get my money up in order to provide for her the way she wants to be provided for. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Because
hell
let me
yeah,
tell you something, man. That got to be a cold motherfucking fall when a nigga fall off that goddamn horse. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right,
if you was attached to that shit, now all of a sudden, for whatever reason, she don't want to do it no more.
Mm.
Nigga, you ain't got no mansion no more. You going back to the hood. You was just fronting. Now you asking niggas for a cigarette. Like, shit could change like that. You know what I'm saying? So I was always aware of that when I was, enjoying that time. So yeah,
right,
crazy.
right.
Man, that's wild. You wild for the night, man. Now, you said earlier, man, you had some things to promote. What you got coming up, man?
Yeah, yeah. So I'm working with the Lyricist Lounge. Um, what are we in? April 20. We're in March right now. So April 26th, we gonna be at the Apollo. We got Ghostface Killer at the Apollo. So that shit
Mm,
is gonna be crazy. You know what I'm saying? Everybody should make sure they get their tickets early to that shit, because that shit is gonna be bonkers. It's like so many people gonna be there. I'm not even gonna run down the rest of the lineup until we get everybody signed. But
right,
yeah, Ghostface is confirmed at the Apollo with the Lyricist Lounge. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to drop another album this year. You know what I'm saying? My last album was the mixtape. You know what I'm saying? The Now and Then mixtape. I'm about to drop another one. We gonna get on that. Probably like I'm trying to drop this first single in like the next uh 2 months. You know what I'm saying? So look out, we got some shit coming. You know what I'm saying?
Hold
I'm gonna
up.
be real busy.
Hold up, nigga. Hold up. All right, so hold up, nigga. See now, I ain't even know. Hold up, you said you dropped a joint called a mixtape, and you about
Yeah,
to drop
yeah.
some shit that's coming out. So you rap? Oh yeah,
Yeah,
you do.
now what it is, see what it is, I started my own website, right? And
Okay.
what I'm doing is um I'm trying to get cats to understand what I was telling you earlier. Instead of
Mm-hmm.
going to Spotify and giving them your music, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do your music and put it on your own website. So what I'm doing is I'm giving them 70% of whatever they sell. You know what I'm saying? So you sell
That's
an
good
album for
business.
$10, you know what I'm saying? I
That's
take
good
three,
business.
you take seven. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
And you selling your music the same way now. All you gotta do is promote your music. My website is handling, you know what I'm saying, taking your payments, you seeing how many downloads you getting. You know what I'm saying? It's
Right.
right there. You get your money. You know what I'm saying? I also got a merchandise company, where I'll print your merch up for you, ship it out for you. You know what I'm saying? And now you don't have to buy like 200 larges, 300 extra larges. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's called iownmymusic.net. Right now I'm getting the website rebuilt, because we're gonna have a lot more stuff up there. You know, it's gonna be a lot more user friendly. But yeah, we coming back with something crazy. You know, so people gonna look out. They gonna like my new logo. They're gonna like the new album and all that.
All right. So you going back to like what you were speaking on earlier, you gave the audience and the viewers a lot of game. You know what I'm saying? You being that you was around people, you were soaking up game around the people that you was around, and you took that and you started your own thing. You know what I'm saying? And you knew the gifts that you had. So being that you was cutting hair, you started venturing off into other things that you knew you could do. So now you got like different avenues of revenue circulating right now because you got the merch, you got the music, you got the barber shit, you know what I'm saying? You got the promotion thing going on, you know what I'm saying? So you gave the people a lot of game, man. So like at what point did you realize you was like, nah, I ain't just about to cut hair for the rest of my life. It's other shit I could do and I know I could do
When niggas started getting dreads. So
it.
when niggas started
Right.
getting
Yeah,
dreads, you
that
know what
slowed the
I'm saying?
money down. That definitely
That
slowed the
slowed
money.
the money down right there. You know what I'm saying? So you
Mm-hmm.
had to
Right.
think of something. But also, on the real, I'm like, yo, man, like, why not me? Why
Right.
can't I try it? Like, what's to stop you from doing it? Whatever it is, whatever it is, what's stopping you from doing it? The only thing that's stopping you from doing is you saying, "Oh, I can't because." Just get the
Facts.
step out the way. You don't. That's what I'm saying. You don't gotta be the flyest shit ever. Start where you can, build on that, and then grow slowly. Slow growth is good, and that's what I'm saying. A lot of people scared of that work, that slow growth work. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? You know, like look,
Slow money
when
is
I
better
drop
than no money.
slow money better than
Yeah.
no money. Right now,
Yep.
look, everything I learned, right, working with the Lyricist Lounge, I've been working with them for like 20, 25 years now. You know what I'm saying? Learning marketing, promotions, helping them with shows and everything. When I got my website, I did my mixtape, I did the whole album, got the beats, got the MCs and everything on there. I did a show, Ron G hosted it. It was crazy. You know what I'm saying? Cellar Dwellers headline.
I remember
I
them
mean, I had
niggas.
so many people. Yeah, I had so many people there. The show was bananas. I invested a total of 7,000 at that point,
Mm-hmm.
including having my merch company and everything set up. Yo, I made all my money back the night of my album release party.
Damn.
Mm.
You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? A lot of people don't do that. right? A
Right.
lot of
Hell
people don't
no.
do that. Niggas take a loss, they get their ass eaten. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Pause.
Right.
You know, because it's
For
seen as an
real.
investment.
Pause.
But the reason why I didn't take a loss is because I practiced 100 hours with everything that needed to be done for marketing and promotion. So I didn't need to sell out the joint. I sold out half of the spot. I made money doing my merch. I made money over here. I sold enough tickets so that I got a portion of the door. These are things that I learned in business that caused me to make money. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
now I broke even. Now anything after that, all the records I sold on my on my website and the promotion I got from that was straight money for me. It was free.
Right.
Any merch I sold, that's what I'm saying. It's slow growth. I didn't do the Yeezy thing and sell a million pairs as soon as I opened up my website. Nah, you know what I'm saying? But
Right.
I kept pushing. You know what I'm saying? And here's another thing. This is a key lesson. You know, I'll get off my soapbox after this. Stop thinking your man's is the niggas that's gonna support you.
Right. Right. Church. Church.
Preach.
Don't give a fuck. Don't give a fuck what they say. You know what I'm saying? Don't give a
Right.
fuck what they say. That's not your target audience.
Right.
That's not your target audience. If you think your man's is your target audience, you're gonna be sadly mistaken. Because no
Right.
matter how good your product is, they're never gonna pay you the full value for it because you they mans.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's
And
a
that's one thing.
fact.
That's one thing. Speaking on that type of stuff right there. That's one thing. I'm pretty sure you think the same way too. Um, Whenever you drop something, whenever you drop a project, whenever you do merch, uh, whenever you cut hair, whatever, your main focus is not your friends or your neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Like you want a wider audience and you want a wide fan base. You know what I'm saying? Like
Exactly.
I was telling Stone the same thing. I was like, yo, dog, when I do my podcast or I do something I promote, nigga, I don't think about the town because I am the town. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm from there. I'm born and raised there. Niggas know what time it is. But if I depend on my town supporting me, nigga, I ain't gonna get nowhere. You know what I'm saying? So I want people that don't know you support you way more, like strangers. They support you way more. Like how many people you met doing this business? Asking you, Lamar, like how many people you met in this business that's you've been friends with for so long, they got to the point where that friend word got transferred into family. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, man. No, I get it.
Yeah,
And it's like it's not many.
right,
It's not many. For real.
right.
Yeah,
Nah,
it's
y'all
not many.
definitely right. It's crazy out here, man. But like I was telling me and Tiz had to talk earlier, man. When, I was telling him about my
One
little
second,
cousin
one
was
second. Let
telling
me
me.
get something to drink. Let me get something to
Go
drink.
ahead,
One
go
second.
ahead, go ahead.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. I know nigga got mad stories.
Yo, for days we might have to do a part two because I know you got to get ready to make your moves.
Yeah, we gonna have to do a part two, man. You know what I'm saying? But
Facts. But
it's
yo, it's crazy, man, because damn, that shit was deep about the what the fuck the nigga said about how you feeling like inadequate when you're dating somebody with that make more paper than you. Remember that?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But
you
you know
see a lot of
what?
niggas fall into that.
You
You
know
see a
what I
lot of
learned
niggas fall.
about? Go ahead, bro.
No, I was gonna say you see a lot of niggas fall into that. You gotta
Yeah,
understand. I was a plant out there from New York. So if I get dependent and caught up in her world so much, in a world that I can't afford, if shit go wrong, you fucked up, bro.
yep,
All right, all right.
They ain't had no fucking 1 bedroom apartments in Burbank where we was living. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I went from living in a 2 bedroom apartment when I met her to this a loft apartment in Burbank. You know what I'm saying? Some fly
right,
shit. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? 2 floors, all this shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
I
you get
hear you,
caught up
nigga.
in that shit. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Then you fuck your life up, you know, and you from New York. So what you gonna do? You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Like, it ain't like you in Brooklyn. You go over your man crib, go to your mom's crib. You know, I always had to make smarter moves because I couldn't run back home. I was three
Facts.
thousand miles away.
It's
You know what
all
I'm
on
saying?
you. It's all on you.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's all on you. And you know what? Being that when you move, when you make a move like that, because we all three of us, we all moved away from our hometown. Like Stone's not in Brooklyn, you're not in Brooklyn, I'm not in Utica. We all in
Yep.
different cities that we wasn't born and raised in. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is, when you go there, like you said, it's on you. Like I done been homeless out here like 4 times, but my mindset was like, nah, nigga, it's on you. You gotta get it because you ain't going home. If you go back home, what's gonna happen? You know what I mean? You gotta weigh the options out and see what's better for you. So I stuck with it, put in the groundwork myself, like, nah, I'm gonna thug this out. You know what I'm saying? And you
Mhm.
gotta make sacrifices. You know what I'm saying? You might have to sleep on your man couch. You might have to, you know what I mean, stay at your girl crib for a little while or whatever until you get back on your feet.
Oh, listen, the reset, the reset button. Do you know how
Yeah,
many times I had to press the reset button? Listen, man,
man.
I don't want y'all to think from me talking that life went so smooth. It was just a constant incline.
Right,
Yo, B, I'm a high school dropout. I made
right,
wrong decisions sometimes. I fucked up. Listen, dog, dead serious. It's times that I was in LA and I just left a fucking movie set and I don't got no fucking money in my pocket and my man had to buy me some fucking $1 burger, nigga, because I was starving, nigga. Because I was grinding to get that paper. You know, when you working with white people, they don't pay you in cash, nigga.
right,
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? I didn't really understand that. I had to learn to rebalance the way my money was coming in, but I had to let it come in first. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't be borrowing money from people and put myself in debt. That's what I'm saying. It's life is you're gonna have ups and downs, man. I done had to press the reset button mad times in my life, man. I mean, I ain't never get evicted and no shit, and I wasn't never homeless. But yo, there's times that I didn't have an apartment. It wasn't that
right,
I was homeless, but you know what I'm saying? Shit, nigga, I was fucking with bitches just for a place to stay, my nigga. I
Nigga,
was
I
that
know,
dude.
nigga.
I was
I
that
already
dude for
know.
it. You know what I'm saying? Yo, man, I done lived it. But you don't, at your lowest point, lay on your back and look up because that's where you gotta go. You gotta go up, my nigga. You know what I'm
mm,
saying? So
yeah,
get you a little rest when you laying on your back. Soak that shit in, right? And this what niggas
right,
gotta stop doing. Yo, dead serious. And I definitely want to say this is another important. Niggas, go check your mental health, man. There's
Mm.
right,
nothing wrong. Yo, man, I go to a therapist, B. For real, I go to therapy. You
right,
know what I'm saying? Niggas need that shit, B. You know what I'm saying? Cause yo, saying yo, I'm alright. Nah, we not alright.
nah,
We not alright, man. You know what I'm saying? You gotta take care of your mental health. You gotta start taking better care of yourself, man. Because when your mental health ain't bad, ain't good, that's what causes us to make bad decisions.
facts.
Facts.
That's a fact.
Yo, that's crazy, man. That, that's a big thing, man. Like you sometimes you need a lot of alone time too, man. You gotta get your thoughts together. You know what I mean? Ain't nothing wrong with that either.
Nah,
You
it's
know what I
nothing
mean?
wrong with that. It's nothing wrong with pressing the reset button. But yo, when you laying there on the floor, it's okay to feel that burn. Don't say that shit ain't bothering you. Nah, let that shit burn.
Right,
And then once that fire go out, you get the fuck up and you go with it. Stop fighting that feeling. If you gotta cry at night, turn off the lights, nigga. Let that cry out. But
right.
tomorrow, get the fuck up and don't stay there.
Yeah, I'm telling you,
Nah, man, for real.
it's the truth.
Tomorrow, get up and
I
don't
heard you.
stay there, son. Cause yo, man, on the real, when I got, my depression is bad. Like I go through phases where I'll just sit in my crib and I don't want to leave. I'm not this dude that you're seeing right now.
Right.
Yeah, shit get to me like that because I think of shit that I lost, shit that I fucked up, shit that's why I'm in therapy. You know what I'm saying? So, yo, man, that's what I'm saying. My life ain't been, a box of cherries. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
You know,
Facts.
shit gonna happen, but you gotta deal with that shit and keep pushing, man.
Right. Right.
Embrace the fun times, man. Enjoy your life, man.
Nah, no, definitely. I went to therapy a little bit when fucking I was in a shelter and shit. It was like mandatory or some shit like that. I liked it, man, and it did help me. You know what I'm saying? Get through some shit.
Sometimes your worst time, man, that reset button, you really, it helps you grow.
Right.
And growth is the shit.
Yeah, that
Facts.
shit. Like I was actually, that's crazy that you say that because I was actually about to sign up for therapy. You know what I'm saying? Like I wanted a therapist, you know what I'm saying? Because
Do
people don't
that shit.
understand. It's just like what you just said. Like people see you now and people be like, oh yeah, he cool, he cool, he cool. You know what I'm saying? Nah, I'm not cool. You know what I'm saying? It's just I know how to disguise it and I know how to mask it. But when I'm by myself, I'm living in my head. You know what I'm saying?
All black men mask it. Bro, listen, this the shit. We're taught as black men, right? Hey, yo, man, stop crying. Suck it up.
Hmm.
I don't want to hear that shit.
Right.
As black man, right? And here's some shit, right? Love my sisters. No disrespect to the sisters, right? But as a black man, if you tell a black woman the most sensitive shit about you, if you finally open up to her, you piss her off one day and watch her use that shit against you, my nigga.
Use it right
That shit'll
against
Oh,
break
that's
you the
all
fuck.
day, nigga.
use it
Shit,
right
nigga.
against
That shit'll break you. Yo, dog, let me tell you something, B. That shit'll break you the fuck
nigga.
down, my nigga. Yo.
Yo, nigga, you said it like you said something new, nigga.
Listen,
Yo, my nigga.
that's
But
all you
that's why
got to
niggas
do.
don't open up. That's why niggas don't open up. That's
Right.
why they don't open up. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? They
right.
keep shit in. And homegirl like, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? If I tell you, this secret gotta self-destruct. You
Right,
can't.
Yo, it's crazy. It's crazy.
right.
Yo, it's crazy when no one is crazy when you get hit back with it later. You like, oh shit.
At
This
the worst time, nigga. At the worst time, yo.
Right.
oh
That's
man.
all you got to do is use that against me. I'm done. I'm done.
Yo, listen, I
You trying
have
to play
trust
me?
issues still. I got PTSD from shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right,
Nah,
right.
man, for real. It's a, you know, women can be cold, nigga, at the
Yeah.
wrong motherfucking
Yeah,
time. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
So yeah, Jack. But that's the
Yo,
shit
we
that
got to
men
do a part
protect.
two for
We
sure.
got to. We
We
got to.
definitely got to do a part two, man. So I'm gonna say, all right, before we go, man, I want you to let people know how they can find you, where to follow you. You know what I'm saying? On social media and everything.
Oh yeah, Instagram, TikTok, Shorty Hoffa, SHORTYHOFFA.
Bet, bet.
Yo,
Yo,
Al, I
thanks
want
for
to thank you
having
so
me
much.
on, man, for real, man.
You
And yo, I
already
got
know.
more
I
stories for y'all.
appreciate
So
you
when
for
we do
coming,
part
bro.
two, yeah, yo, when we do part two, I'm gonna tell y'all, the Lyricist Lounge stories and some more good stuff. But we'll
Right.
say
Oh
that.
Yo,
yeah,
nah, I
oh
know we
yeah.
got. No, listen, man. I felt like we got into some deep shit niggas needed to hear, and we got some good stories. And I know
Right.
it's more,
Uh,
way more, way
This is a
more.
good one. This is a good one, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, man, if we get into everything, man, we'd be here all day. It'll be a couple hours long because
Nah,
it's a
oh
lot of
hell
stuff.
yeah, yeah, hell yeah, hell
It's
yeah.
a lot
That's
of
what I'm
stuff.
saying. We gotta chop it up. We gotta chop it up. So we'll do a part two.
Definitely
yes,
got to do a
facts,
part two. Definitely.
Thanks for having me,
facts.
y'all, for real.
You got some shout outs? You want to shout some people out before you go?
Yo, look, shout out my cousin Shane. Man, Aunt Marshall, Danny Castro, the Lyricist Lounge. You know what I'm saying? Man, to all the young dudes, keep
Right.
pushing, keep getting money. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Be smart about it. You know what I'm saying? They throwing RICO cases like pancakes, nigga. So chill the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? And you know, if you're thinking of doing some some real criminal shit, do the math first.
Right.
And here's what I mean by that, right? A lot of niggas will do a crime and get 10 years, but they'll only get 10 G's for that crime. You know what I'm saying? Like say they was
Mm-hmm.
going to rob a store and they go hurt a nigga when they go do that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
$10,000, $1,000 a year, that's all your life is worth. You know what I'm saying? That's all your time is worth. You could have worked at McDonald's and made more than that, my nigga.
Right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
If I'm gonna do a crime, some shit that I'm gonna have to lay up for, you better believe it's gonna be 25 million sitting on me, waiting
Right.
for me when I come home.
Yeah.
I I'll sit down for that. I'll
Right.
sit down for that. If I know
Facts.
I got 25 mil sitting and ain't nothing, nobody knowing, you look, you gotta do the time. But yo, the money going. I don't know what to tell you, nigga.
Right.
Poison
That's what I was
person,
gonna
that shit
ask.
going.
Cause I was like, would you do it for 10 million? 10 million? That's a million a year. 10 years? I'll take that.
I
Right.
take that. I take that.
I'll
Because
take
I'm
that.
not gonna
Right.
make a million a year on the outside, nigga.
Right.
I'm good. I'll lay up. I'll chill.
Right.
Right.
Do the
But
math.
nah, yeah, do the
Do the
math,
math.
man.
Do the
You
math, man.
know,
Do the math.
Do the math.
a
Make a
million in a
lot of
year,
sense.
I'm good. I'm like, yeah, all right. Hold
Do
that.
the math.
I'm gonna
You
hold
know what I'm
that.
saying?
Pause.
That's all I'm gonna say. Cause
Right.
look, man, I don't knock nobody for what they do. Just do the math.
Right.
Right. Right.
So, but yo, this was beautiful, man. Y'all want to thank you so much. I appreciate you, man. Thank you, big bro.
All right, man. Stay up, man. Yo, thanks for having me. Nice meeting you, bro. Catch
You
y'all
too,
next time.
bro. I appreciate
All
you,
right,
my
peace.
dude.
You already
I
know.
Peace.
Yo, Tiz, hit me on the other end.
bet.
L1, I'm gonna hit you up. Yo, this was the True Spell TV.